Hello and welcome, Cosmic Quantum Travelers. How are you faring? Let me know. We just had a X 1.9 and followed up hot by an M 1.2 solar flares. That's a big sunspot coming around. And that's the beginning of our final rodeo, our final ascent. This is the beginning of the end. Well, it's true and firmly here. It's more like the beginning of the beginning of all new beginnings. Running out of words here, which is basically the false ego self fully going down a cosmic toilet completely, as we are returning back to the totality of singularity, which is what we truly are. This is the real true disclosure, and it's happening right now. So these intense energies that we've been feeling even before the sun started flaring, the stronger flares. Also, the message I received is very much to do with the magnetic field and poles completing their shift back to mother supermagnetism and the yang-yun flow of the butterfly pattern, which is returning us to eternal source life flows as we are fully reconnecting to source, remembering ourselves as source, which is love. So it's ultimately you remembering that you are made of pure, true, divine love. Everybody else, everything else is, no matter what it seems to the separate psychotic ego mind, that again is been fully dissolved, also with the help of a lot of the solar activity. We had bonanza from the 8th till the from the 9th till the 18th, which brought us the last upgrades and purification, and this is really where all of this completes. So it's literally we're being all healed, purified, sanctified, absolved, redeemed, all as one. The cosmic Christ fully rebirthing, fully resurrected, fully rising, all as one. And again, all I can see is at one moment in no time, it will be just awakening from a dream as if it was never any different. Because this is not real, true reality. Remember what is really real. As we're remembering this right now, as the halls of Amenti, the cosmic history records coming fully online through the crystalline caverns, through our own crystalline activations, our own carbon structure becoming crystallized, clearing, purifying all of the distortions, the miasma, the karmic load, the parasitic infections, entities. Again, this comes all down to thought forms, belief systems. Remember, you are a hologram. This is a hologram. As you remember this, and as you remember that everything is based on imagination, our deepest self beliefs and expectations, you know that this is where your power lies. As you shift your perception of reality, of yourself, of others, which is happening right now. And this is also connected to the magnetic field shift, because the magnetic field is directly interlinked with our consciousness. As this shifts fully, the consciousness shifts fully. And I think most probably many can feel these big consciousness shifts happening right now from inside of you, where you're literally shifting back to your true, eternal, authentic self. But it's in order to, so to say, get there, you have to fully surrender all, fully empty yourself. This is also one of the things we will talk about tomorrow, or rather today on 22nd, in our call, which is all about resurrecting, reinventing your true eternal God self. The replay will, as always, also be available. This is available over my Ko-fi website page. It's basically like Patreon, just better, I believe. I can only recommend it to any creator who finds an easy, sovereign way of exchanging their gifts, abilities, services. And I mean, that was one of the things that's also been clearing a lot, especially in my awareness. It's this whole not enoughness, the hunger. There's actually a gene key that's called, so the call-in details, if you want to take part in the call, you need to sign up. The details are below in the description box. We will cover how the right use of power as your eternal God self, how to empty yourself, how to merge with that consciousness. I will share the wisdom, gnosis, as it flows in the now moment, as it always does, as well as we will be doing a powerful light language assisted activation to support this. What I'm seeing is the cosmic quantum tree of life fully igniting the Kunda ray, our extended Kundalini current, fully lighting up the Christmas tree. Eshanaka, kusunanena senata. And the sun is assisting a lot, but it's beyond all of that. These are cosmic rays, us fully reconnecting to God's source consciousness, becoming at one with that, 1, 2, 2, 2. It's us merging with God. This is what ascension is all about. I know people like to, so we're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about the use of life force, also in regards to sacred sexuality. We will talk about how to empty yourself, how to become at one with source. Again, a light language assisted. Activation will be part of this. That is also recorded separately via MP3, and then you get the replay details as soon as you as they are available, usually a few hours after we finish the call, done over Zoom. And yeah, these are very powerful initiations, activations, miracle calls, where we make the magical shit happen. Truly. So this is us pulling the trigger on the cosmic reset, fully completing, on the ignition fully of the earth star of the crystalline core, the crystalline grids, our own Kunda ray currents, and this fully igniting the new cosmic quantum tree of life. The magnetic field shift is also very much connected with the electromagnetic, our own field within our own morphogenetic field being readjusted, realigned, for the masculine and feminine energies to fully balance out, harmonize. So the masculine and feminine principles, gender principles, are very much right now being upgraded, reset. And this is also bringing you to harmony, balance. And this is where you can also always check in with your own, the core of your own Christ and Macabre, which meets in the middle, your own central column, the staff, and a rod configuration that meets in the heart to hold it steady, which is you ultimately holding the 0-point field. So you can see everything, the polarities playing out, as well as you see it from pure God source consciousness. How would God see it? And you become God source consciousness embodied, or rather, you're remembering that we always are that. But as you fully surrender to source, you literally become God's boots on the ground. You are here to be in God's service for the ascension, not to feed the little ego self with what the little ego wants, okay? This is like all part of your initiations and tests. I mean, without them, there would be no growth. There would be no refinement. There would be no test and making of character. If you'd always had it easy and everything would just come to you like no problem, okay? So remember, the bigger the tests and initiations, the bigger your mission usually is, okay? And this is where we're all remembering, again, that we are pure God source consciousness, through us ultimately opening the heart to God's love, seeing ourselves through the eyes of God, everyone else, reality. This is us returning the kingdom of heaven. It's a consciousness, a state of consciousness we embody, anchor, and then emit out as a new cosmic emerald and crystal diamond rosette network coming fully online, fully bringing online the interdimensional Stargate system. It's all set up. It's here right now. This is bringing fully online. This is us having collected all the keys and codes, all the quantum, all of our consciousness, this huge soul retrieval, multidimensional merging process, literally merging all worlds, realities, realms, timelines as one. Divine organic creatrix fields. Us as one consciousness. Remember the totality of singularity. That's the real disclosure. That's what heals and sets us all free. And only the God self can do that. Not our little ego minds trying to fix things. Once we were young and stupid, we wanted to change the world. As we become wiser, we know that as we shift, everything shifts. So the change happens on the inside, and then we see it out there. And this is where we now fully become, when you fully surrender to source, and again, we discuss this more in the call, to assist you on your journey, accelerate it, make it a little bit easier. But again, you have to apply all of these things, as well as these calls, I know, do really help a lot for people who are all in and really, are on a frequency bandwidth that is really open to what I'm speaking about and isn't, distracted by their own belief systems, opinions, ego filters, and it's already enough within the unity consciousness frequency of understanding that we're all here to fulfill different roles, and we're all here to restore wisdom. We're all here to be God sovereign and free, and this is all about your connection to source, that you don't need a middleman, middlewoman, no priest, no leader, teacher. Ultimately, I'm just here to remind you what truth really feels like, how to reconnect to source, for you to have that access in every now moment yourself, where you know truth again. And you can't know truth until you are fully surrendered to source and become at one with that cosmic intelligence. But this is you at one with ultimate power. This is where you become the enactment of divine will, because God wants to create miracles through you, but it's not even you doing anything. You just become an empty vessel. Again, we go more into this in the call. On this level, also I want to say the importance of, I know people love who are just programmed into really wanting to speak to, or connecting to, when it comes to their own energy field work, healing with archangels, ascended masters, ETs, or through other people. And I mean, why go through a middleman if you have direct access to the ultimate source of intelligence, which is source, which again is ascension all about. So I would highly recommend go direct. This is what all of this is about. If you want to ascend, you need to become at one with God's source consciousness. And again, we can talk about this all day. Ultimately, it has to be felt and experienced. And this is why I'm also recommending so much time within your own, in silence, going into meditation, really just opening yourself up and just being guided by your intuition, by your heart, by source. And doing this work really intuitively, but connecting directly like a child would do. Would we tell a child it needs to speak to a middleman, or could it speak directly to God? And also when we ask and are in gratitude, like if we are praying for something or are thankful for, it's really the same thing. Like right now, instead of praying or asking for things from the place of not having it yet, I would highly recommend speaking it as if it had already happened, is already here. So the gratitude is in thank you so much, and also mixing what already is true, like thank you for always providing for me, thank you for always supporting me, thank you for always guiding me, to be in constant communication with God. Make this your main experience. You at one with God's source consciousness. This is you fully ascended, where you are literally just becoming a vessel for God to work through you, as well as you get to experience your real true self. But that again is very, you're always reinventing yourself. Okay, especially now as we're getting fully rid of linear time, incarnational cycles, all time cycles. And also remember, I mean, even the planets being in the wrong position, all of that stuff. I mean, it's not as if, because we always think of it like everything from the outside is influencing us and writing our storylines. It's the opposite. You're projecting out the planets. You're projecting all of the stuff out, the systems, the politicians, the Illuminati, the fallen angelics, okay? We are all projecting one another out. So they're literally just here because you're imagining them, so to say, the fallen, okay? Everything is being reset. The one world soul, cosmic monad is being fully reset as one. All reality, all consciousness, everything. And those consciousness units within the whole that are no longer in alignment with the new earth realities are being returned to source as if they have never existed, because this is us returning back to the inception point, back to the beginning, resetting all, because this is as if it was a dream. The past has been fully deleted. You need to fully let go, fully. All attachments to people, places, things, everything, any worry, fear, doubt, keep surrendering it to source, okay? It's the only way to know real truth. This is all about you being fully open to God's love, to see yourself through God's eyes. This is love bliss. This is where you are remembering your true eternal essence, which is God's source consciousness embodied, which is love, which is truth, which is power, real power. Because your false ego self doesn't have power. It thinks it has power, it thinks it has control, but it really doesn't. It doesn't even really exist. It's a fictional character in the game. It plays a role. But now we get to have fun with playing the role as the cosmic Christ child is coming fully out to play again, because mommy and daddy are home, the cosmic mother and father, protecting the children again, us remembering what we're here for. We are the protectors, the guardians. We are the Ayanis. We are the ancient councils. We are the founder races that have created everything. So it's down to us to remember what we came here for and that we have imagined all of this. So you need to let go of all the storylines, all of the cosmic wars. This was all a dream. It doesn't matter how real it has been in this reality. You need to fully let go of all this victim-victimizer consciousness, all the persecution, traumas, wounds. Let it all the way go. You need to heal it to let it go, but that's happening right now automatically anyway. Okay, so this is no more people really having a choice. It's just, you know, one way or the other, you're going home to source. So it's so important to connect directly to source, no longer use a middleman, it's all programming. You at one with ultimate intelligence. This is what this is all about, because this is about us rebirthing ourselves, knowing ourselves as the second coming of the Christ, as cosmic consciousness in a body, constantly imagining reality. And this is where everything truly becomes accessible, available, possible. When you remember your God source consciousness embodied, you're projecting all of this through the power of your heart mind out into the realities, and you hold the ancient sacred plasma technologies, crystalline technologies within your own body and field, projecting this out. You're a projector. You are a projector of reality. So as the consciousness completely shifts, we are projecting out all new heavenly realities. And ultimately, it will be as if in the blinking of an eye or overnight, at least very, very quickly. And it's here now. Usha, so whether people are doing the right thing, not the right thing, saying the truth, not, whatever they're doing, still stuck in fear, inverted programming, mind control, just see everything perfectly imperfect, see the great big picture, ask for everything to be healed through you, through the eyes of God, one way or another, all in highest alignment with the greatest good of all, the law of one. Because you're not here to decide, you know, either as such. Who's living, who's dying, who's getting whatever, you know what I mean? Everybody has ultimately created that for themselves. That's why right now it's also like no more bullshit. You're no longer trying to fix, heal, save people. You're no longer, the big thing that was clearing for me is, again, this big feeling of that we all have, not enoughness. This is what's creating lack in our realities, poverty consciousness programming. It all comes from us ultimately not knowing ourselves as God. This is the only time you feel fulfilled. Oh yeah, and this is also about the gene key that I also have in my profile and I do like a lot. The shadow aspect is hunger, which is kind of this not enoughness. We always want something kind of from the outside to fill your hole that you feel deep within. The gift level is adventure. You just basically, this is all about a path following love, following your heart, just being the happy fool. I've been walking this path very consciously, and it has brought me all the way home, back to source. And the Siddhic level is boundlessness, where you become fully boundless. So the Gene Keys, for anyone who doesn't know it, it's a book by Richard Rudd, and it's kind of similar to an astrological profile, but it's based on the I Ching. So basically, and we just had another M flare, 1.57. Way, okay, fireworks are. So I know I'm hopping around and I'm forgetting half of what I'm saying, but the energies are very intense. So I just, you get me. Anyway, it's more about the energy I'm transmitting, as anyone always does, because there's so much information that's being transmitted also, you know, beyond the words I'm speaking energetically, which is loaded with further information, as well as, again, we will be going further into all of this in the group call on the 22nd. Or if you want to enjoy the replay, the details are in the description box below. So this is really where many of us can feel deep, big inner shifts completing as you're fully breaking out of our cocoons. Like this is our full and final breakthrough. You need to make it happen though. You know, it's not like us waiting for the breakthrough just to happen, although there's a lot of waiting as everything has been recalibrating, so to say. You need to be patient with the process, but there's no more waiting as such. It's just fully going ahead. There's no more all roadblocks, all interference patterns, all blockages. I mean, ultimately, they're happening inside of your own, you know, tree of life, within your own morphogenetic field, and are then projected out as challenges, hindrances, like in the process of clearing out for myself the not enoughness and poverty consciousness and all of that stuff, which also can play out in a collective consciousness as greed. So people who have a lot of money, but it's also never enough. You know, it's a not enoughness, it's a hunger. It's the, we want things from the outside to stimulate us to feel whole, to feel at peace. Now, there's a lot to be said about this reality in the way we live. There is, I believe, a certain level of destruction that is also healthy or needed in order to kind of, because some of us, for example, are very bored. And there's a lot of waiting, because I've seen a lot of things, you know, you see a lot of things happening years in advance, and you're kind of holding the field a lot, and a lot of waiting, a lot of just observing, okay? So I often need to literally force myself to distract myself, like watch a program or so that's, I don't know, just to switch up from attention, because otherwise attention is just all the time, 24/7 in my field. And that's another thing. Whenever we want something to manifest, you know, for example, lately it's like, okay, we know it's already here, why is it not here yet? Kind of thing. You know it's there, and the message is everything is all around love, abundance, divine unions, everything quantum completing, but you can't see it yet. It's kind of the opposite of that. And it's like, you need to understand, like, I always know that, for example, like I've had some financial impasses come up. I mean, also, seriously, Ireland is so expensive. The cost of living is insane. Everything is so overpriced. People are really like, this hunger is very deep within people. The overcharging, and you get very little back. Like the quality of life you get in return is not great, and it shouldn't be like this. Like Ireland, I see. I mean, the future is it's a healing place. I mean, it always has been. But because of all the trauma, all the wounds, all of the, I mean, it's ancient land, the levels of depression, grief, this not enoughness. I mean, you know, just knowing the recent history of Ireland, you kind of understand a little bit where the depression and all of that is coming from, you know, this heavy energy. It has a lot to do with suppression, but again, it's not about us blaming any system, any group of people, politicians, you know, the outside world. We need to remember that we're projecting this out. As we have lack consciousness running in our field, we keep projecting it out, you know, and it can come out as both. You don't feel like you have enough, or even when you have loads, you know, that still don't feel it's ever enough. Because again, nothing outside of you can literally like fill that hole you have that came from you disconnecting from source. So the only way to really truly feel that love bliss is not even an outside relationship. It's you connecting to source, to your true beingness, your true essence, which is love, which is you in love bliss, which is you remembering yourself as one with everything. But in order to get there, you need to let it all go. All attachments to wanting, needing anything, any and all expectations, all belief systems, thought forms, compartmentalizations, judgments, all of that fully. You need to let go of your identity, of thinking you are even real, because it's your separate false ego self that's even suffering here. As this disappears, all suffering disappears. It's the stories, the inversions within the consciousness that make us suffer, that make us ill, that make us die, that have corrupted the divine blueprint. As that fully resets, reality fully resets, remember this is a hologram. It's not really real. It's created by the mind. So as the one heart mind fully resets, the one cosmic monad, all of reality does. And it will be as if it was never any different, and it will be within a blinking of an eye. So all resets, all victims and victimizers fully disappear as we become as one with God, fully empty and fulfilled by the Holy Spirit. So let it all go. All identification, objectification with yourself, with reality, just fully empty yourself and allow God to fully redream everything through you. Again, we go more into this in the call. I also want to finish this now. what we're accessing now, it's really going to be like every day will be like a holiday. Our dreams being fulfilled and becoming really real, because remember, you're imagining all of this. So this is also where the fairy realms, the magical realms, kingdoms become fully alive, the crystalline castles. Again, it's all held inside of you, the whole cosmos, and then you project it out. Okay? So forget the false science out there. Time, space, gravity, being fully transcended for your diamond avatar self. You are merging with, your avatar level, your ascended master level, your archangel. So why would you even outsource this to your pals, your healing, again, you have a direct connection to source. Okay, it's all part of the path, but right in the end, you need to let it all go and surrender everything to source. All of you, everything. And there's no fear. Does God have fear? So be grateful now for your biggest, wildest dreams fulfilled. Again, you feel whatever you're feeling and going through, and just being present with that. The biggest thing right now is just to be fully present in the now moment. Because again, a lot of suffering of the ego mind is like you're either stuck in the past or you're like worrying about the future. You always want something that you don't have in that now moment. You're not fully present in the now, and you're not happy with the now. So this is what we're shifting now, as well as you can be, observing things, corruption, or, again, rents, electricity, all of that stuff. The prices shouldn't go up, especially. Online, Wi-Fi, all of that stuff. This is, who owns the world? We own the world. Literally, we hold the blueprints for reality in our DNA as the cosmic monad, as the forerunners, as the way showers, as the indigos, okay, as the gray lines, as the founder races. We literally have seeded and project out reality all the time. Okay, so you literally own the world, but again, not from a little crazy psychotic ego perspective, but from within a oneness. Wow, we are constantly creating all of this. And this is also one thing that's shifting. Instead of us, like when people are very different or whatever crazy stuff they're doing, so to say, instead of like going, how could they do that, and being outraged and disgusted and I don't know, judgmental, it will be like, wow, that's interesting. Because this is where like the bullshit ends. We understand why everybody is doing what they're doing or not doing, why they're in fear, why they're like, whatever, reacting from a wounded place. This is where we have the deepest compassion for all life. We understand why everybody is the way they are, as well as we will no longer allow the bullshit to continue in our life, where we cut all of the shit out. Okay? Because we have fully reclaimed our self-love, self-worth, seeing ourselves through the eyes of God, and we know what we deserve, and we say no to anything less than that. No matter how much we care for people, love people, no matter who anyone is. Okay, this includes twin flames. I've said this before along those lines. It doesn't in the end matter how much you love someone or who you think they are in the end. You know what I mean? It really comes down to, there's a limit to everything. And it's really about, is the person, because what happens, I was asked before, what happens to the masculines who are not, kind of fulfilling their missions by, reuniting with the divine feminines? And in general, I would see whenever you're not following your heart, whenever you're not following your missions, which is what your heart is telling you, this is boundlessness, this is bringing you all the way home. Okay, you just follow your heart and you keep doing this, and you're overwriting your ego every time, and you keep dying upon all of your fears, doubts, insecurities, worries, fear of intimacy, and all of that, of being truly seen. Okay, every time you don't do this and your ego overrides, you've been placed in karma. You keep playing out karma because you're not fulfilling your dharma. The only way how you can get out of karmic cycles, realities, experiences, is by keep following your heart. And it might feel like karma, but ultimately it's, again, anything I've ever done, and even the crazy things and even the things you thought got you into, a situation you would have rather not been. I still know this was still part of God guiding me, because everything is God, first of all. Everything is always happening for me, co-created by me, as well as I understand the roles that are being played. But this is the only way we could learn, again, through mistakes, through experiences. Because if you take the judgment out of it, ultimately it's always all happening for us, even though it doesn't seem so momentarily. The same with anyone who's ever hurt us. They really have just brought us back to our true self. If you know how to alchemize your pain and wounds, it's always leading you back home to your true self. You know, when other people don't choose us, we choose ourselves. When other people disrespect us, we claim it back. But I also want to say at this point, even if you love yourself and respect yourself and know your worth, you know, sometimes it takes a collective a long time to come around, because this is one of the things I was clearing, the kind of not enoughness on my part is also this whole, you know, not that much support. It's just been declining, especially over the last 2 months. Again, I don't understand totally why. We're going back to the beginning, back to the start. And I know I will be more than fine, because we'll all just be awakening and everybody just knows what everybody has really truly done, who everybody really is and what has really happened. So I've known for years, you know, everybody will literally know me. I will be more than abundant, you know, from people hating, judging me, whatever, getting triggered by me. It will literally be the opposite of people being grateful and supportive. And yeah, it will be a whole different experience. So I'm looking forward to that. Because the healers, those that care, okay, those that have been supporting everyone, they also need support. And that's very often forgotten, but I've really given this totally to source, because we're no longer wondering why people don't get us, why they misunderstand us, hate us, attack us. I don't know, all of the stupid stuff, okay? I mean, I've talked about this. It's you're holding a high frequency of truth. This will trigger people. Your aura helps heal, which also means it triggers the shadows, unacknowledged shadow aspects in others. And when they're still in their ego self, they can't, you know, they don't usually take responsibility, but project all of their own stuff onto you. As you fully know who you truly are, you no longer care what anyone thinks about you, if they love you or not, if there's no one supporting you. As you are at one with source, you know you're always supported. Like I know in my physical reality, there's, you know, no immediate support, so to say, but I know my spiritual support is massive. I mean, this is all I've been driven by. And this is the only way I can really truly do my work. Because if you're in service to source, you will always somehow be supported, provided for, protected. Again, right until the end, it might not look as if you wanted to, but again, these challenges are here to fine-tune, to refine you, for you to grow, for you to reclaim all of your true power, your true God self, as you fully remember yourself as that, okay? And that's where you really truly no longer care for other people's agreements. If they give you a pat on the back, if they hate what you do, if they love what you do, it has literally very little to do with you. As you are just your true authentic self, know who you truly are, full true confidence, as well as you're humble, because you're everything and nothing, and you've been through hell and back a million times. You know what it's like, okay? To be stuck in the unconscious, to be stuck in wounds and traumas, okay? But it's the both ends, where you have true self-confidence about who you are, perfectly imperfect, as you are now. Stopping to adhere to whatever anyone is telling you should be doing, should not be doing, this is right, this is wrong, it needs to fully go. You need to be your own greatest authority. Your direct connection to source is what makes that happen. It's what ascension is all about, okay? I think I leave it here. Snootsy wants out. I'm not paying attention. Oh. Oh, yeah. Might be raining. It's big snoots. Snoots, SNOOTS. I think I gave him that name. Anyway, so be grateful now for all of our biggest, wildest dreams fulfilled, our hopes, faith, wishes, prayers, perseverance, rewarded, all paying out. Again, you feel it first, and then it will happen out there, even if for, you know, a period of time you have seen very little results, or even the opposite. I know sometimes the worse it gets, the better it gets. Like when I had these financial things coming up, I literally just had to laugh at it. Because it's just so hilarious, because you know, like it's here, infinite abundance is here, we literally own the world, and this is like playing out in this fake matrix, but it will keep playing out until you're no longer triggered by any of the shit, okay? Until you remember what is really real, and this is not really real, because again, it will keep coming around and test you. That's a confirmation, until you no longer fall for the triggers and you've passed all your tests and initiations. So to finish, you have to be willing to die on your false self, your false ego self, the paranoid, psychotic self that feels separate from its own creation, that is not real, okay, that was caught in a dream, to return to your true, eternal, authentic God self. That is what heals and saves us all, okay, from within the oneness, and it's already happening. That's why it's important right now, go deep within and really connect in your own intuitive way to source, like a child would do, okay? This does not need any specific activation way of doing this, okay? It's the same as all paths lead back to source, back to love. So call forth your breakthrough. You also make it happen, but it's a happening through you as you fully surrender. It's the both end. It's a dichotomy, okay? The paradox. So you have to be willing to let it all go and ask yourself in every now moment now, what would God do? What would God see, think? Okay, because you are God's source consciousness embodied, you're returning to your true eternal essence, and this is what heals you. Okay, and activates your plasma light body, the true crystalline realities, and when you heaven upon the earth, because that's the only thing that God would imagine and project out. So all things become possible as you remember all is but imagination, that all is you, that you are God. Okay, and this is where everything has conspired for us, no matter what anyone seemingly has done to us or we to them, as you fully reconcile all from inside the oneness and understand there's only one of us here. And we have co-created this all as one, and you remember the big picture and our ancient promises. This is the cosmic reunion of the one. A true love story never ends. This is us returning to our true selves, to one another, the true soul tribes, the cosmic tribes, cosmic family, fully reunited, all blood tribes, all beings, all worlds merged as one. So remember who you truly are, who everyone else is, and what reality is really like. It's not this fake shit, okay? So stop feeding it already, stop getting triggered by it, stop fighting it, stop judging it, stop resisting it. I mean, it all happens in a process, but you keep going back to the 0 point field from where you literally can collapse and co-create realities at will from now, fully at one with source. And when you take linear time out of it, there's just frequency alignment, there's just energy, which is what we're constantly working with. As you fully transcend time, space, gravity, become fully boundless as you follow your heart, love, back to source, back to your home. This is home, us feeling at home now, always, no matter what's going on, what's happening, fully at home within the self, okay? This is the only security you need, and that's the only security that's really real. That's where you feel safe, protected, and provided for always, no matter what's going on. You always have enough, always, even when you think we don't. And this is where a lot more comes from now. So this is the eternal God self, fully reborn, resurrected, reinvented. Again, join us for the activation if you like, if you feel guided to. And a God sovereign, conscious co-creator, where we pull the final trigger and light this baby all the way up. Cosmic quantum tree of life, masculine, feminine, fully merged in true divine origamic reunion. All tribes and families reunited as one. So this is where the party gets real, the fireworks. Okay, now let's bring this all the way in. Quantum leap, jump, quantum merge, synchronize with that parallel reality where you're already fully ascended and we're already fully there, as if it was never any different, awoken from the dream. We will forget about this. You need to let it all the way go for that to happen. Shushunane, Tenusa. And no matter what happens with anyone, you fully, as you are fully God sovereign and free, God sovereign and free, remember yourself as that, you will see everyone else as that, and you no longer feel the need to fix, save anyone, so to say. Okay, again, it's different when people come to you for help and support. Oh yeah, one thing I wanted to say before I finished, because I had an email. And again, anyone who's ever sent me an email, questions and so forth, and I'm really sorry I haven't reacted to many of them. This has been for me really a stretch. I had to take it really easy the last 2 weeks. And I mean, then still there's so much going on. It never really fully happens. But basically, there's just so much I can do as one person. there's so much I do energetically beyond videos and calls and all of that stuff. Working with people, I just cannot reply to emails most of the time. Okay, it's just an additional energy drain that I just can't do. So this is what my calls are for. They have Q&As, so you can literally decide. Come on in. Come on. So what? So you can literally ask me any questions there, okay? But I wanted to answer one that I couldn't get back to because it's, again, in an email, it takes me so long to put this all together. It's just too much energy time, okay? And I want to answer properly, and it's never just one answer. So the question came for what they can do for their ascension, what they're doing wrong, what can be more helpful for this journey we are on, if I would know anything. Now, and she also was talking about, I feel like jealousy, envy, insecurities, comparisons, narcissistic patterns may still be challenging for some, like those patterns are closing the heart. Well, yeah, but if we see this within others, the thing is we also have them within ourselves, okay? Or we have not integrated these aspects yet. So these are all ailments, afflictions of the separated ego self, okay? Where we feel more or less than any other. Generally, for the ascension process, all you need to do is really be present. Be fully present with whatever you're feeling, with whatever's going on. Really come from the heart. Try to do this your own way rather than so much trying to learn loads of modalities, or even like you can't get this wrong. The more you can get into this mindset of you can't get this wrong and you're the happy fool, this is most of your fear, anxiety is gone. I mean, I even had, again, days ago where I was checking with source. Am I doing anything wrong? No, you're fine. Again, there are always things we can fine tune, but generally, the path is clear. We are fully ascending. Again, each one on their own has to figure this journey out for themselves without being so guided or led by what other people tell them they should or shouldn't be doing. You hold all the answers truly within you, okay? Like this is really where you become at one with the God self. You remember you are love, you are pure God source intelligence in a body. You have direct access. Everything you could ask me, you can ask someone else, okay? I mean, again, what can you do is really just face your traumas and your wounds. Be fully present in the now moment. Going into the feelings as they arise, whilst being the compassionate observer. And also with others, one of the best techniques is to put yourself into other people's shoes. Like, why are they the way they are? To try and find compassion, understanding of how anyone could be any which way, whether it's narcissistic or jealous or selfish. It all comes from not enoughness, not knowing yourself as true God source consciousness embodied. I mean, these are very general questions, but yeah, I think I leave it at that for now. Again, the calls are there for you to be able to ask these questions. And then I can also ask you a little bit more of what exactly you even mean. I mean, even asking yourself what you're doing wrong, just take that out of it, like you're not doing nothing wrong. You're just experiencing. But you need to know where, like, an experience is bringing you pain and where another is bringing you expansion and growth. And that's where you learn from then, okay, maybe next time I'm not going to do this. Or yeah, I saw a warning sign with this person, but I like turned a blind eye. And later on it turned out, yeah, they are the way I thought they were from the beginning on. But I let their shiny persona or outer appearance and manipulation tactics take me off guard, because there are a lot of imposters out there. There are a lot of, I mean, this is really what's healing a lot right now as you fully take your sovereignty back. All of the false light can fully clear. All of this, because we've been misled by so many people out there. Like, it sounds all great. Sometimes it feels pretty good, but there's so many layers and levels. I mean, behind the whole false light and false teachings. I mean, spirituality and religions just have been hugely inverted, and there are just a lot of inversions, reversals in most teachings out there. And again, but you're here to really remember yourself what is true. And it's not found in a book, it's not found from the teacher as such. A really good teacher just can lead you back to your own truth, to your own connection to source. That's really what it is about. Can you decide what you want? I thought women were the ones, the girls who can't decide what they want. And boys had the sense of direction. Anyway, now we leave it here. I hope I answered that somewhat. And again, anyone who sent me a message and I didn't answer it, it's nothing personal. I just can't do anymore. I already have so many things I would want to do and I never do, especially concerning my own life, because I've been so much in service and I've given all I could, literally, and a lot more. But this is where all of the self-sacrifice in the end ends. So to say, as you fully sacrifice yourself one last time, fully, completely to source, become at one with everything, no more separation, no more of this drama playing out, you fully remembering what is really real and projecting this out now, okay? Where every day will feel like a holiday. Because what else would we project out? As well as there will always be challenges, so to say, to keep us entertained, all right? So allow yourself to be fully rebirthed, reinvent yourself, resurrect yourself, like the phoenix from the ashes, the cosmic dragons, the Yanis, our ascended master levels, our true cosmic remembering of all of the realities, free of all of the fallen timelines. Okay, this is free of all the wars, all the vision. You're remembering reality for what it truly is, not this inversion, not this inverted carbon copy mirror reality, okay? Danwe, ususha, ena se, kenutuna. Yana tukuru suchuska, chenina, ununa, ena sena kena tukutukushkana te kena tukunasa. So again, what really truly heals us is God, which is love. So fully open yourself up to be loved by Source, by God, for who you truly are. Connect through the heart like a child would do. No one else can do it for you. And this is how we bring it all online. It's really quite simple, as well as not so easy. And it's been quite a long journey back home. So it's all about us returning to knowing ourselves at one with the ultimate power of true divine love, which is God, which makes everything possible. Okay, all right. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So much love, so many blessings. I see you. Details again up in the description box if you want to take part in the call. And yeah, this is where everything shifts. So be this, believe this, be your real, true, eternal, authentic self. This is where everything ignites from, okay? As you fully let it all go. Open. Usa. Shinateno kurutura. Sinateno kanatata. Yununu saina. Elajanata kanano tutuno. Sunaina anana. Sekera shutunatiate. Usunatiani. Sunukuna sanatiate. So let's light this baby all the way up. I see you at home. Bye, bye, bye.